This is video 3 in CTTC's Digital Assets Management Training System, and in this video we're going to cover how to retrieve assets for personal use. Here we've already conducted a search, and we'll assume that we've made some selections here, and to make a selection you would just check the box next to the image, and we'll say that we'd like to retrieve these 3 images for our project. There's a couple of ways that you can do that. You can click over here on the download icon, or on the menu bar you can hit Action Download. That's going to give us a download asset dialog box, and the first thing that you're going to see is the retrieval task download options dropdown. Go ahead and click on that dropdown. You can see there's many options. Here you're going to always want to make sure to select an export option, and one of the options is get original. You're not normally going to want to do that. As you can see here on the original file size of these images, most of them are just under 50 megs. So if you're downloading multiple images, that's going to take quite a bit of time for you and possibly slow down your download time. And if you need it only for something like a web application or for in a PowerPoint presentation, that's not exactly necessary. So here we'll say that we'd like to use this asset for a PowerPoint presentation, in which case we'll select the export image web medium. And you can see here that the task description pops up, JPEG 72 DPI at 800 by 600. That's going to work for us, but you can take a look and explore what these other options are. We're going to leave this Add Default Extension checked, and before downloading, package the assets into a single file. That's going to allow MediaBin to take the 3 assets that we've selected and package them into one downloadable zip file for us. These other 2 radial buttons, you can see the option is to download each individual image into a zip file, or you can have them download assets without archiving, but this is going to have you lose some of the information, so I don't recommend doing that. Most likely what you'll be doing is before downloading have the MediaBin package them into a single file, so we'll select that, and we'll go ahead and agree to the content license agreement. We'll talk about these more options here in a little bit. We'll go ahead and click Submit. And MediaBin is going to begin to process those images. It's going to take the original asset and it's creating the web medium file size for us and putting them into this nifty little zip file. It's finished here, and what you'll do is right click and hit Save As, Download As, whatever. In this case I'll say Download Link As. You'll get your little dialog box pop up and I'll save it to my desktop. And we'll pop over to my desktop real quick and take a look at that file. We can just click that and unzip it, open it up, and you can see that all 3 of our assets are available here for us now in the size that we requested. Now we'll pop over here into my email and we'll see here that MediaBin has generated an email for us reminding us of the assets that we've downloaded and the rights associated with them, as well as the expiration date. This is going to be important, and you'll want to keep these emails possibly in another folder. It also attaches a copy of the content license agreement for you. Let's pop back to MediaBin. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to take a look at is the more options that are available under the retrieval task dialog box. In this case, we'll just do one for an example, but you can select multiple images at a time as we did before. We'll go ahead and select this guy and hit our download button. And our download asset box comes open, and we can select our retrieval task. We'll say web medium again, and you get your task description. My Mac always puts this binary file here, but I always change it to zip. Your PC will probably be zip by default, but we're going to let it put it in its zip file for us again. And we can agree to the content license agreement. And before we hit submit, let's go over here to the more options. And we can see here that we have a crop tool available to us. And if we click that crop tool, we get our image crop box. And we have some crosshairs that we can use just to drag and drop a cropping area. And in this case, we'll just grab these people. But you can see that you can enter some numerical values or ask it to keep the aspect ratio. This works for me, so I'll hit Apply and OK. And it's going to ask us again, I guess we have to check that box again for the content license agreement. We're going to let it put it in a zip file. We can see here that already it's got a thumbnail preview of the cropped image, and we'll hit download. And the server's going to prepare that file for us in the web format that we requested and with that cropping. And we can go ahead and download this zip file. I'll put it on my desktop again. And we'll go ahead and pop over there and take a look at that. Open it up and do a little preview of our cropped image. So once again, MediaBin has sent us an email reminder of the image that we downloaded and the rights and all the information for that image as well. And so that about covers it for our retrieving assets for our personal use. And in the next tutorial, we're going to cover how to share assets and retrieve assets for sharing.